Hello my beautiful love goods, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am finally doing my tiny shell challenge. I think I mentioned this a long time ago, but I'm actually going to do it this time. And what I've decided is that in this video I'm going to do like a little let's build section where I build the shell along with you all, and then I finish it myself. Basically, like I do it myself to kind of give you a I guess an example. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this tiny house. But so yeah, for the basics of building my tiny houses, I always build on the smallest wall height because it's just more realistic to me. And then I kind of start from the back sometimes. So I'm going to do a little bathroom like this. And we are making it 4 wide. Oops. We are making it 4 wide as opposed to 3 wide. I mean, you know what? Let's go wild. Let's go mad. Nah, we're gonna stick with 4 wide so that y'all can kind of get a little grasp of it. But I'm gonna say about 3 blocks here for the kitchen, and then about 4 for like a living space. And why don't we add a little bump out? That'll be fun. Like just a little bump out right here. I see a lot of tiny house builders doing like little bump outs in this little section, and they do like a little couch or something there. It's pretty cute. And normally in real life tiny houses we would have like a loft space, but unfortunately that's not really possible with like the roofing in The Sims 4. So I just do a room, and I guess I'll do 5 by 4 blocks for that. That looks pretty good. This is the shell. It's super basic. I know, it's just a couple blocks. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the screen right next to the tiny house what the not rules are. I guess it's like rough rules, but what they are. Anyway, for starters, you can't delete any walls that I place down, so you kind of have to use what I've got there. You can add walls if you want to. I wouldn't recommend adding rooms, but you can add a little bit of a bump out or a little bit of a section if you want. If you want to do like a bay window, that'll be kind of cool. You have the control. Like you can kind of make this house into absolutely whatever you want. It can be traditional, it can be modern, it could be futuristic, it could be Victorian, it could be, you could even take it and make it float. It doesn't matter what you do with it. As long as you keep the original shape and the original floor plan, you can do whatever roofing or lack thereof. So yeah, I will be uploading this build to the gallery. All you have to do is search for the hashtag Lukey shell challenge. But yeah, and my username is also lukeydean if you want to find it that way. But so let's go ahead and jump on into the speed build portion of this video. Alrighty, so here we are into the speed build portion of the video. So basically I wanted to add on really quickly onto the rules that I just gave you all. Basically, if you do use any custom content or mods whatsoever, be sure to just be sure to use what I have, essentially. Peacemaker as well as Illogical Sims I would recommend the most. Any other creators I tend to kind of take out of my game, but I will be having Peacemaker and Illogical Sims like custom content in my game whenever I am looking at your all's tiny houses, so that I will be able to see them. But for the most part I would recommend keeping them fairly CC free, because it'll be easier for me to see them, I guess, for the most part. I will be doing a video kind of going through your all's shell challenge, like just builds and stuff, and I'll probably pick like 5 or so. But if I don't pick your build, I'm sorry. I would go through literally every single one of them if I had time, but 5 is like a good little like breaking off point, and even then that might take me forever because me, I kind of ramble on forever and get all weird and stuff. But anyway, my tiny house little version of the shell challenge is pretty cute. I really like it a lot. It's kind of rustic, and it just kind of gives me like a wintry vibe, and I didn't actually take the screenshots in the snow, and I kind of regret it because I think it would look really cute. But yeah, I used the siding from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, as well as this kind of log cabin siding from the Outdoor Retreat game pack. Honestly, love these 2 packs, as well as Get Together. Those 3 packs, love them so much. And the foundation is also from the Outdoor Retreat pack as well. I love the foundation. I don't know why, just Outdoor Retreat, so underrated. underrated. It's so cool. Like, the world is really pretty. The items are really pretty. They're some of my favorites. I've been using them literally since we got them. So yeah, and what else? It's pretty cute though. I really liked using those blinds for shutters. I know that they're not really shutters, but they're pretty fun. They add a little bit of detail that just kind of make it seem a little bit more realistic, I guess. Because I feel like a lot of the time you see shutters on windows, but I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking nonsense, but I just thought it would look kind of cute, and it just adds a little bit of detail just to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic. And I also added a greenhouse as well. I know greenhouses, you know, it's not really adding walls, so it's adding roofing, so there you go. But you could honestly do that, actually. You could probably add on a room to this tiny house with a roof, because I've done that before myself. And it actually does work. Whenever you put a door there, the Sims can actually go in there. It might be a little bit tricky to like get the size of the room and stuff right, because you know it's a roof. But I have done that before in the past where I was doing a challenge, and since we have seasons now, it can make challenges a little bit more difficult, especially if it's like a legacy or a runaway teen or something like that, where the Sim doesn't have a house at all. So I always use a roof because it's free, and it basically just gets them out of the cold, and that's really what it does. And it's kind of annoying to play in, but it still is functional, and it's kind of fun too, because it's kind of a little bit of a different take, I guess. But I did use the little mini fridge from the Discover University pack. I haven't really used it yet for some weird reason, but I decided to in this build, and honestly love it so much. I was able to put the coffee pot there, and it takes up so little space, and I don't really know if it has the same exact functionality as a normal fridge. I haven't really played with it very much, so like, does it have the same things? Like, can they just get food from that and cook like normal? Or is it only specific food? I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to do some research and actually play the game and see. But yeah, it still nonetheless is really cute, and I really like how it looked. And I added a little bar piece there, which I thought was kind of nice. And yeah, and of course I had to add a copper sink. When am I not going to add a copper sink? I always am going to have copper sinks in my builds. Like, every single build is going to have a copper sink from now on, because somebody made that joke where like, oh, Lukey and their Copic sinks? No, copper sinks. Funny, but also true, because I love copper sinks in builds. I don't know. I saw a tiny house tour, I would say a couple of years ago at this point, where they had like a hammered copper sink in their kitchen, and I was like kind of obsessed with it, and I just kind of love them now. I don't know. But anyway, I am also putting in a little Christmas tree here, or a Winterfest tree if I'm speaking Simlish. But yeah, it's pretty cute. I did shrink it down. It should work fine. I don't see why not, because most items, they do still work fully, fully welly. What word am I trying to say there? I don't really know, but yeah, it should work just as good as it does, regular size. There will be clipping, I think, that if you made it bigger, so I don't think it would affect it. But again, did not test that because it wasn't Christmas yet for my Sims. So, yeah, forgot about that. But yeah, anyway, so I mean, even if it doesn't work, you can just delete it. It's not a necessary item. I just wanted to add it in because, the holidays are here, and I needed to at least get a little bit excited, because I tend to not get excited for Christmas until the week of Christmas. So it's getting here pretty quickly. It's almost here. It's crazy how fast it's gotten here. The whole term slow as Christmas, quote unquote, is kind of not true in this case, because yeah, it's definitely gotten here way quicker than I expected. I work in retail, so it kind of comes at you out of nowhere. Because, that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. It's just you kind of, you're like, oh, Thanksgiving's here, Black Friday's here, you got all this stuff to do, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, hey, Christmas is here, and you're like, wait, what? Like, how? Like, that was fast. But yeah, anyway, I did do a lot of experimenting in this build. I used a lot of items that I haven't used before, or maybe I haven't used in a really long time. Like, I used that, like, room divider thing from Dine Out, and it's obviously for restaurants to kind of like separate things, but I really liked how it looked there as like a little decorative like room divider there between the little kitchen space and the front door space. I just wanted to try it, and I also used it upstairs as well as the railing too. I don't know, just I thought it looked nice and woodsy, and it just kind of added to the whole charm of the build, I guess. But anyway, I really like this build though. I really love how like woodsy and kind of cabin-like it feels, but it's still like got a lot of like white furniture and like, you know, like what is it called? Shiplap? Is that what Joanna and Chip call it? But yeah, it's some nice shiplap in the kitchen just to kind of add a little bit of a rustic charm, if you will. But yeah, and the bathroom there, it has enough space for a bathtub. I do put a little sink in there as well, just because I was like, do I do a bathtub or do I do a sink? I'll try a sink, but if you do the shell challenge, there is enough space for a toilet, a shower, and even a bathtub if you want to do that, or you can do a toilet, bathtub, sink. Or you can do no toilet at all and just have your Sims suffer, which is a way of doing it. But I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, I did this little sink here. This I did not test. I forgot to test this. I'm pretty sure it will work because it's not like the items aren't like overlapping too much, but I wanted to kind of make my own little built-in sink there, and I'm not sure if it works, but it should. But if it doesn't, again, not a big deal. But yeah, I would recommend testing everything, because I did test the house generally, but I was like, oh, I'm just gonna see if they can walk around, and I just forgot to do the sink, even though, because I guess I always forget to put sinks. I don't always forget, I always intentionally ignore putting a sink in the bathroom, because basically I'm like, well, in a tiny house, the sink is right there in the kitchen and the bathroom's right there, and I just see that it's kind of pointless to put two sinks, because sometimes your Sims will wash a dish in the bathroom sink, and I'm just like, that's silly and not realistic. So yeah, it's the Sims, you know how it is. But anyway, here is the upstairs loft space. I used my favorite bed in the whole entire game from Outdoor Tree. It's honestly such a cute bed. I love the bed frame. I think it does fit pretty nicely in here, even though there's not really any other wood that is that same tone. I just think it works pretty well with everything going on, and the blue there in the bed is really nice to kind of, you know, balance it too. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the build. Be sure to tag your builds, hashtag Lukey Shell Challenge whenever you upload your version of the Shell Challenge. And be sure to also, if you are on Twitter, tag me on Twitter at LukeyLupin. That is in the description down below, as well as everything else that I said and the rules and all that good stuff. But yeah, just be sure to tag me on Twitter or Instagram even if you want me to see it. It'd be really cool for me to see it ahead of time. But yeah, I will be in a couple of weeks or so be making a follow-up video with you know, me looking at y'all's versions of the Shell Challenge and probably being blown away, because sometimes y'all are like so creative, like always so creative, and it's kind of amazing. But I'm very excited to see your builds. Be sure to follow me on the gallery at lukeydean as well if you want to see any of my future builds, and also the hashtag Lukey will show you all of my other builds, as well as this build here. If you want to download this one specifically, it's on the gallery as well. At least it should be. Okay, it might not be actually. I just remembered I haven't uploaded it yet at this time of recording the video. I'm gonna go do that. But anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird and beware of the narcos.